Mana.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Bakemonogatari Season 1, Episode 14. Last episode, we got Block Hanekawa at the end. She's waking up.
Mm-hmm. She's ready to protect her master.
Nya ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Yeah? You ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Helicopter. Yes!
Wait, that's so
Nya-ha-ha-ha.
perfect.
Do you think Block Hanekawa has her own intro?
Maybe. That's why we could hear it from the rooftops.
大体のストレスを解消していたからね。だから封じることはできた。ストレスが溜まればまた浮き上がってくるさ。ストレスか。一応首に鈴をつけておいたからね。それが功を奏したって感じか。触り猫の早期発見につながる。
Nice!
その鈴ってのはなんだ？頭痛だよ。
Ah!
委員長ちゃんは頭痛を訴えていただろうって仕掛けを打っておいた。
Set something up.
でもせめてあらら
That's so
に
neat.
だけは言っておくべきだったな。ストレスの原因は何なのかだ。そりゃ前と同じで家族じゃないか。どうなんだろうね。17年間自分を律してきたストレス。こんなに早く同じレベルのストレスがたまるもんなのかね。
Is it Araragi?
原因を突き止めたところで僕やお前に何とかできるわけがないんだし、その場しのぎの対症療法しか道はないと思うけれど。
その通りなんだけれど。
Evasive line.
星野、言葉を濁すじゃないか。
Be specific, Oshino.
いやしかし荒木君、委員長ちゃんはそれにしても猫耳が似合うね。
Focus up.
僕は猫ファンタジアを思い出したよ。
お前、星野。
Yeah.
何かごまかそうとしてないか？
He's like following him around.
とにかく星野、早く忍を連れて。
Where is she?
相手は化け猫だ。どの道前と同じで。
そうかもね。しかし、蜂を連れてくるとか。
Bad luck brings.
おい、星野、いい加減に。あれ。星野、聞きたいことがあるんだが。
奇遇だね。僕も荒木君から聞かれたいことがあった。
Where is Shinobu?
忍はどうした？
それそれ。忍ちゃん、自分探しの旅に出て。
Oh no! But also that could be good.
The fact that she was holding in that other stress for 17 years. What could be so uncontrollable and hard to keep in?
そう遠くまで行けるはずもない。それに今の忍
So
は
many
伝説の
chairs.
吸血鬼でも何でもない。そばにいなければただの子供以下なんだ。
Ah.
お金を1円も持っていない。あいつお腹を空かしているのかも。どこかで一人で。
She's trying to find herself.
Flashback. Girl number 1.
ついにただの誤植になってしまったか。そんな場合じゃない。
わかりました。私もできる限りその
Nice.
探してみます。
そうしてくれるか。
Useful.
荒木さん、全部一人で何とかしようとすれば、ミイラ取りが
A needle in a pyramid.
ありますからね。
ピラミッドスケールでか。
We're asking everybody.
Her PJs are cute. And her sheets.
あいや。
落ち着いて。何かあったの？
Oh, her elbow.
何かあったっていうか。
とにかく落ち着いてよ、小読みお兄ちゃん。そうだ。漫画やアニメなんかでは気楽そうにもてはやされてるけれど、意外と大変な仕事なんだよ。
Wait, stop. Hanekawa told us that last episode.
落ち着いた？小読みお兄ちゃん。
おお。してなんか落ち着いちゃった。
Your funny story worked.
忍を探してほしい。
いなくなったの？忍ちゃん。
一晩戻ってない。
そうなんだ。
力はほとんど失ってるとはいえ、あいつは吸血鬼なんだから。
やらせて。
No.
It's not like you to guess wrong. Oh my god.
Dang.
The through lines are crazy.
I'm sure she's the woman for the job. 100%.
忍がいなくなったんだ。探すのを手伝ってほしい。
羽川さんが学校を休んでいるわ。それは関係あるのかしら。羽川さんの時にはその忍って子がよく働いてくれたとか。つまりそういうこと。あの子の力が必要だけれど、その子が失踪中と。
いい感じしてるな。
羽川さんのこともその子のことも同じくらい心配なのね。どちらを優先するべきかなんて明白なのに。
それはどういう意味？
行かないわよ。私は行かない。
おい、戦場があら。
だって私には文化祭の準備があるもの。
今は
羽川さんに任されたの。
It's for Hanekawa.
She's doing something for Hanekawa too.
投げ出せるわけがないじゃない。窮地であればあるほど。
That would add more stress to her, 100%.
荒木くんはいつも通り荒木くんのやり方を貫けばいいわ。私はいつも通り私のやり方。
What a great line.
学校は任せた。いい文化祭にしようぜ。
そうね。
じゃあまた連絡する。
あ、荒木くん。
Yes.
いいかしら。ツンデレサービス。別に荒木くんのことが心配なわけじゃないんだから。でも帰ってこなかったら許さないんだからね。
Amazing!
まったく。
It worked.
はい、決まっているだろう。安心して任せられるよ。これで呼べる限りの助けは呼んだ。
Oh no.
Oh no. So why did we think that tying her to a pole on a roof
It's
was
the only
majorly
thing that we could do.
because it was the only thing we could do?
なんだあいつ。
Interesting.
絶対に見つける。見つけてみせる。僕はお前のことを一生背負って
For the rest of my
Responsible for
life.
you for the rest of my life.
Black Hanekawa.
なぜいる？答えろ。
What a shot.
猫なで声を出しても無駄だ。お前縛られていたはずだろう。
俺が暴れ続けたから勝手にニャワの方から
Makes sense.
We need better knots.
That'd be a good alarm.
そういえば、押野、今回のお前はやけにやったはずだぞ。らしくないじゃないか。おい、猫。
どうしたにゃ。
猫、僕が今から言う文章を復唱しろ。泣く泣くいななく七半七台、難なく並べて長々め。
にゃにゃめにゃにゃじゅうにゃにゃ。
Okay, I never want Black Hanekawa to go away.
じゃなくて、何をしに来たって聞こうとしたんだ。
そりゃもう人間を手伝ってやろうと思ってきたに決まってるにゃ。
To help you out. To find Shinobu?
誤解するにゃよ人間。俺はもうお前と戦おうという気はにゃいんにゃ。
言ってたか。
ああ、言ってにゃかったかもしれんにゃ。今回の俺は暴れようというつもりはにゃい。そういうテンションじゃにゃいからにゃ。
お前は羽川のストレスみたいなもんなんだ。
And we need to figure out what her stress is about this time.
羽川の第二の人格。
だから誤解するにゃよ。お前には感謝してるんにゃ。 年はかかったであろうご主人のストレス解消が
No, I like that it was 9 days.
Yeah.
Cats have 9 lives.
見つかってくれた方が都合がいいってことなんだな。
そういうことだにゃん。にゃっはは、これが本当の猫の手も借りたい状況ってやつだにゃ。
Never go away. Never.
そんなくだらないギャグで得意満面になったりはしない。
She'd be so upset if she could remember any of this.
聴覚な。お前は忍の匂いや声はわかるはずだろう。ってくれればいい。
わかったにゃ。
何か気づいたら教えろよ。
にゃ。
Deal.
どうしたにゃ人間。
忘れてた。こいつにはエナジードレインがあるんだった。
にゃ。
しかしあえて言わせてもらう。倒れて食いなしと。
あ、わかった。人間、お前ご主人のおっぱいが気持ちよすぎて悶絶したんだにゃ。
僕もバカだがお前も相当なバカだな。自分の能力を把握していないのか。こんなやつを当てにしていいのだろうか。
I like that she's a little bit of an idiot.
それじゃ忍を探すのも難しくなって。
I mean, after all, Hanakawa only knows what she knows.
期待されてやるにゃん。にゃはは。どんなことをしにゃければにゃらないんだったかにゃ。
本当にこいつを当てにしていいのだろうか。
おい人間。
なんだ化け猫。
お前さ、俺とバトった後も俺らとよ。
なんだ、押野に聞いたのか。
人間、お前らが怪異と呼ぶ。
Interesting. He says it, but then she calls him
お前は
human.
どういう風に考えているんにゃ。お前が俺らに慣れたつもりでいるんやら、そこは一噛みしといてやらなきゃいけない。
What is the intention behind Oshino letting Aragi handle so much of it?
人間にゃ。一緒にはにゃらにゃいにゃ。にゃにがあっても相入れにゃいにゃ。
お前僕に何を言おうとしてるんだ。
お前の頭が悪いからにゃ。
お前に言われたら誰に言われるよりも傷つく。
これが文字通り傷だらけのにゃ。
怪異になれるなんて無理って話か。まあそのあたりは実感していることでもあるよ。
俺が言いたいのはそういうことじゃにゃくてだにゃ。お前あの吸血鬼が失踪した理由とか想像つくのかにゃ。
Maybe the idea that you could never truly live their lives or understand.
お前はその程度にしか俺らのことを分かってにゃかったってことだに。察しはついてると思うのにゃ。あいつはわきまえているからにゃ。
わきまえて。
わきまえて
He
にゃ。
knows his place.
俺らは信じられ。
He must be believed in,
怖がられ。
feared, dreaded, avoided, respected, worshipped, and hated.
今れ願われにゃくてはにゃらない。
Be
だからこ
wished
そ
upon.
存在しうるんや。友達感覚で接しられたらいい迷惑にゃ。
ひょっとしてだけどだからか。慣れてただの子供として扱っていたから。怪異として
That's why she's trying to find
と
herself.
いうことなのか。
そうかもしれにゃいし、
うん
そうじゃにゃいかもしれにゃい。そんな深いところまではわからにゃいにゃ。それにしても全然匂わにゃいにゃ。あの吸血鬼は今どのくらい能力を発揮できるんや。たり現れたり影ににゃったりできるんやら。
ほぼ発揮
Those are
できる。
impressive powers.
発揮できるとしてもそれは僕がそばにいればの話だ。ただの子供。
Yeah.
あの吸血鬼は一筋にゃわじゃ見つからにゃいんじゃにゃいかと。
僕からそこまで離れたら存在できなくなって。
吸血鬼が血を吸う意味にゃ。しかし食料として吸うときと仲間を作るために吸うときとではその意味合いが違うんや。
それは知っている。
あるいはだからこそ逃げたのかもしれにゃいにゃ。
どういうことだ。
鈍感なやつにゃ。
Because she created
勘ってなんだよ。
the followers
あの
Aragi,
吸血
not
鬼は
Emil.
次から次にのべつ幕なしにお前が俺らと関わり続けてるのを見て。
いろいろな怪異と並列されて自身の得意性が薄れていったという意味か。だからあそこに居続けられなかったって。
Not staring because they were girls. Because of the oddity.
しかしお前このまま吸血鬼が見つからにゃかったらどうするんにゃ。
羽川は元に戻らないし。
俺のご主人のことを除けばお前にとってあの吸血鬼はいにゃくにゃっちまった方がいいんじゃにゃいのか。消えてしまえばお前は人間に戻れるんだろ。
He wanted to keep her as his for the rest of his life.
あいつには殺されたって文句は言えないんだ。 あいつが明日死ぬのなら僕の命は明日まででいい。
なるほどにゃ。吸血鬼に頼れなくても俺を奥に引っ込める方法はあるにゃ。
あるのか。
俺はご主人のストレスの
So what's the stress? Fix it.
大元が解消されれば俺もまた消えるのにゃ。
そのストレスの大元がわからないだろう。
I mean, it might be the same thing she said it was for Shinobu.
ストレスの権下にゃ。大元が何かも知っているにゃ。それにこのストレスはお前なら簡単に解決できる。
Oh no.
簡単にゃ。俺のご主人、お前のことが好きにゃんだにゃ。だからお前がご主人と恋仲ににゃってくる。
Oh no.
But he
俺は引っ込む
can't.
ことができると思うんだが。
Oh.
Okay, that was Bakemonogatari Season 1, Episode 14. Right off the bat, do you think that there's anything to Oshino you've been awfully useless this time around?
I feel like my thoughts on it probably go to him kind of wanting Araragi. Like, I'm not going to be here forever. And also, I think that what we're finding out in this episode is specifically what brought Black Hanakawa back, and the reason Shinobu is run away is directly tied to what Black Hanakawa brings up with him in terms of how he views oddities and his relationship to them. And I feel like we also get the line that Oshino knows his place.
So I want to say two things. One of my favorite parts of the episode, I'm just connecting it here because it makes sense in a linear fashion. I love the idea that Oshino puts a bell on Hanekawa in the form of headaches. But what comes right after that was him saying, I guess I should have told you.
Mm-hmm.
Through the headaches and not having that information, Araragi was the one to deduce the issue by himself. Oshino was very aware that Black Hanekawa escaped, says hi to Araragi, doesn't say anything more. Throughout his own way and being this episode, Araragi is given that information of how the oddities want to be treated, not as friends. It teaching somebody and just giving them the answers is much different than them being able to figure out things through their own facets.
And then it gets even more direct by the end. Black Hanakawa's like, I know what the issue is. And that brings up the idea that, like, he didn't have to go to Oshino to find out how to fix Hanakawa and what the stressor was. Even if Oshino knew it, he also, like, there's another person, oddity, that knows what it is too, and that he can rely on himself. If he wants to be involved with this, he also can rely on the people within his life, which we see in this episode that he has the girls that he's amassed that all care for him. He's able to send them all out on these missions to find Shinobu. And it brings me back to last episode where we're on the back of the bike and Hanakawa's bringing up this idea that, like, because of the vampire, it almost maybe did it give Araragi a power of charm and alluring women, and that's why he's amassed almost this harem. And then we directly see that these characters that he's amassed throughout, Girl 1, Girl 2, we even get that being directly shown to us, that he's amassed through these 14 episodes so far. He's able to use his actual connection with them and their understanding of the way he works in order to implore them to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And is it his charm through the vampire? Is it who he is? Is it because all of these girls have some sort of care or love for him that is either tied to something more innocent, like an older brother feeling, something more romantic, and or a love for someone that loves him, Kambaru, for that example.
Yeah, it makes me very interested to see what Araragi's solution here is, because oftentimes throughout the series, Oshino gives us an initial solution, the most obvious one, the one that perhaps the oddity itself might recommend doing. Whether it's like removing an arm or being the lover of Hanekawa.
Something much more maybe like drastic.
Yeah, or direct,
Ultimatum,
but also has like a very a causality, like a big, you know.
It's not even a band-aid. It's exactly what the oddity wants.
Yeah, and through Oshino's wisdom, he has had great deduction of why these issues in the first place came to be, he's given them their respect and their space in order to be able to remove himself enough to see how they got to want what they want. And by working that backwards, you're able to solve the problem at its base. And I would love to see Araragi try to do that with Black Hanekawa and Hanekawa, but I don't know how it would come to be.
I know that from every interaction that we've had with Hanekawa and Araragi, I have been back and forth in my mind of like, do I believe that she loves him? And part of me is like, no, maybe they just want me to think that with certain lines. She doesn't seem like she's jealous at all of Senjugahara and Araragi. And I go back and forth with whether I feel like she has romantic feelings for him. And I think that's more just like, it's on me as a viewer, maybe wanting to convince myself not to get too convinced by something and wanting to stay open-minded. Something that, you know, as soon as Oshino was like 17 years of accumulating stress over her parents. Yeah. And then finally, after 17 years of holding it all in, it comes out. But something over this way smaller fraction of a time was able to bring the stress back to the point of Black Hanekawa coming out. What is something that is uncontrollable is especially for like this idea of like this teenage girl, you know, this young person. It makes me go back to like Nadeko and the idea that these kids, they didn't really know the power of curses, but they were cursing each other over not liking each other back. You know, the power of what, like when a kid has a crush or love. And with Senjugahara and Araragi, we see this love that it's very much, it's very powerful in dialogue specifically of what these characters would say or do for each other in order to continue this love. And that was my first thought when Oshino was talking. I was like, this is confirmation to me as a viewer that I can now go full force through the rest of this episode with thinking that the stressor is Araragi, and it is because Hanekawa loves him.
Yeah. Do you think that there's anything in like now knowing the headaches being the bell, like seeing when Hanekawa like advances with those headaches, like if talking about the date with Senjugahara that's about to happen would lean into her being more open and honest about the headaches, but then taking that back, because if she's open and honest about the headaches, that's one step away from like explaining her feelings, and then bottling those up would only cause further headaches. You know what I mean? Like in trying to keep how severe the headaches were, or trying to change the subject when Araragi prods, it only makes the pressure inside of her like grow faster.
Yeah, like after the last couple episodes and just even the introduction of Hanekawa as a character, we've talked about the similarities in terms, even though there are differences, there's a similarity between Hanekawa and Araragi that they both do not want to be burdening other people. And therefore the bottling of things up, I attributed it probably at first to just purely not wanting to bother him with knowledge about the headaches, because like he's living his own life, you know, and she doesn't want to be a bother to people. She wants people to feel like they can come to her for things, and just pure and simple like that. But the added complexity of how much more stressful bottling it up would be in comparison to, oh, I just don't want to burden my friend with this, to I don't want to not only burden him with this, but him know the reason why. Yeah. And then that put him in a tailspin of, oh my God, I don't want to hurt Hanakawa?
Mm-hmm.
Or what if he loves you back and then he hurts Senjigahara and you don't want her to get hurt either?
It's easier to just hold it in.
Like, of course, like, it would have been even more catastrophic than just, like, I'm not going to tell him about my headaches. So that he doesn't worry about me.
I really liked the lines from Black Hanakawa about Oshino knowing his place.
Yes, okay. I just want to read all of these. This moment was, like, so important to me in the episode.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, can we go back, like, a couple seconds to, like, start from the very beginning?
Yeah, right here.
Okay. Waving. He knows his place. We must be believed in, be feared, be dreaded, be avoided, be respected, be worshipped, be hated, be despised, be wished upon. That's why we exist.
Meow.
Meow. Trying to get along with us is pointless. Approaching us as a friend is, I don't know what it was because it went too quick. So yeah.
Yeah, it's
exactly what you'd think it's easily accessible.
Yeah.
That whole speech there. It's when you in any media, when you get godlike creatures or supernatural beings, there always has to be a relationship with human to them there is some boundaries there. There's fear and there's curiosity and maybe even respect.
It's just so interesting because through, like, Araragi would never go out of his way to be like, yeah, I want to disrespect Shinobu or not do something beneficial to her. All his intention is like, he looks that his life is in forfeit for her, basically. Like, he owes her his life, and he would never intentionally want to do anything wrong to her, but...
And he wants to be responsible for her for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
But another line that's in that same conversation was Hanakawa bringing up the difference between vampire food, like why they would drink blood. They drink blood for food, and they drink blood to create a follower.
Mm-hmm.
And that there is a very distinct difference between those two things.
Yeah.
And what she's saying there is that there is something very specific and important about you. You're important to Shinobu, is what she's saying here.
A vampire drinks human blood, but what it means to drink it for a meal and to make a follower are pretty different.
Pretty different.
Yeah. Do you think that... Man, I want to, like, actually talk to Shinobu. Like, I want to unpackage her feelings about it from her own mouth.
Honestly, like, this isn't turning into a harem anime. Because what is happening here is that all of these girls are getting jealous that they are not the special one that's important to Araragi. That's what's happening.
That for sure is like the callback to Araragi thinking that, oh, she's looking at all these girls in like a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it's necessarily the fact that it's the girl, but it's more specifically the oddity, like how Black Hanakawa says,
Mm-hmm.
like all of these oddities
Yeah, like
after...
everyone's gonna have their own reasoning for being jealous. Like Nadeko, a human girl, would probably have jealous, and Hanakawa would have jealousy over another relationship that they might view as a place that they could position themselves into, like a spot that they could fill, a role they could fill, which is a human girlfriend of Araragi. And in the same way, Shinobu would see all of these other oddities as basically filling her role and her spot in his life.
Yeah. I could not verbalize my adoration and love for Kanbaru. Her being like,
Should I strip? She's like, should I strip now?
I've spent like 30,000 yen or 3,000 yen already, and I have no intention of letting any of these kids behind me
over here. Nope.
play. No, I'm on a roll. I can't lose it. She's so great.
I think that Kanbaru is here to be exactly the friend that you would want in your life.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Senjigahara. Senjigahara, this episode is amazing.
Dude. Not only is it cute that Araragi, when he hangs up, it says on his phone screen, like, I heart Hitagi as he's blushing.
Mm-hmm.
But what she's doing here when she's saying, at first when she's like, no, I'm not going to do what you're asking, I was like, okay, why? Why ever? We get everyone else saying yes and everyone else saying that they'll be helpful to him, but she's like, nope. And I was kind of surprised by that at first without knowing her intention, because it took me back to like them at the bicycle racks last episode, when it seemed like she very much knew how much he loved her, and they had a very sweet moment where she kind of cheered him on with what he was going to do. And I was like, I thought from last episode that you were like being super supportive. What's happening here? And I'm just silly, and I could never write a character like Senjugahara, and that's why I don't realize the complexity of, oh right, like this is something that would only add more stress to Hanakawa. This is something Hanakawa told us last episode, that she asked Senjugahara to do this.
And like, think about all the planning that Hanakawa did, right? In order to pick this specific day as the one that both of them could not go to school and ditch. And everything was planned out other than this one thing. And somebody needed to carry that weight. And it's Senjugahara. And she's stern on it.
And what she leaves Araragi with in order to give him the support he needs to push through into his upcoming battles is the tsundere factor.
Tsundere service?
The tsundere service, sorry. And it's so powerful. Can we read it? Can we find it? And I'll read it. Not gonna act or anything. Tsundere service.
Yeah. It's very quick.
Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm worried about you or anything. But if you don't come back, I'll never forgive you. I feel like I'm playing a game, a dating sim, or something. So the lines, the dialogue are so iconic for an anime or a game.
But Senjugahara would never say that unless she was in character.
Yeah.
And that's the best part of it. It's like a double agent.
She's role-playing for him.
Yeah. It's fantastic. But it's so meta though. You know, you're role-playing like a simplified version
of yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Best girlfriend ever award.
I don't know if I've ever played a dating sim. But if I have, I wouldn't assume... I've never put much thought into it, but I wouldn't think that I'd like go for like the tsundere type. But the tsundere type who is meta tsundere, like, and like that far ahead, like that Senjugahara is like has resonated with me. So I couldn't say any different. There's so many receipts that you could bring of my like adoration for dialogue of Senjugahara that like, oh my God, I love it. Last episode, next episode.
Last episode, next episode?
Mm-hmm. Next episode's the final episode of Bakemonogatari.
Last episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's what it said in this episode.
And then we watch some other part of the Monogatari series.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's gonna be like opening a present.
I'm morbidly curious.
It's gonna be like opening a present because I don't know where in the timeline or what characters is what's going to be taking place. I'm so incredibly excited for that. I also am incredibly excited to just see the finale, how we finish this off in terms of like, how do you, if we're not going to be using Shinobu or Shinobu's actually missing, how do we fix this without Araragi
cheating on Senjugahara,
which Hanakawa would not like that would not be something that would relieve stress from her. It's like, you actually love me more. But even if he broke up with Senjugahara, like, Hanakawa probably still would be stressed and unhappy about it. There isn't really, like, a total win-win here in terms of, like, if Araragi did love Hanakawa more. He doesn't, though. So is there some loophole? Is there some other way to relieve the stress here other than the two options that we've been given, which is Shinobu with the energy drain or Araragi loving her back? What's gonna happen in this final battle?
The first like funny thing I thought of right when the episode ended was like show Hanekawa why she wouldn't want to love you. Like, why that you are not worth
That
being
would just
loved
be
by her.
endearing.
Yeah.
He has not tried at all this entire time to be attractive to any of these girls.
All right, that's all I have you.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.